Godus is a really ambitious game from 22 cans. I mean, it all started with research with Curiosity, the cube that everyone was tapping away at, and then the studio used that information to work on this enormous God game that is so ambitious. And today we got a chance to talk to Peter Molyneux about it. The game Planet is sort of like layers in a sandwich where you can sort of drag each layer out to change the terrain. You can build houses, get rid of trees, craft rivers, cliffs, and all that sort of thing. So you can really, change the planet and sculpt it to your own liking. The interesting thing is that you don't really have control over the people. I mean, they worship you because you're their god, but they don't really come to you for things, and you can't boss them around. Like, you can't select them and make them go places.
You're taking these little people that worship you as a god, that love you as a god, you're taking them through the ages of man. When you start playing the game, they're primitives. Well, eventually, after playing for an incredibly long time, they're going to be going into space. They won't be building little axes, they're going to be building entire spaceships. That, for me, feels godlike.
One of the things we saw today was all the god powers that you have. So there's one where, you can rain a meteor shower on your civilization, and then that'll start a forest fire. Another power you have is a finger, the finger of God, that you could just use to squish people and squish houses and squish anything you want. It's just this like half finger that appears on the screen.
So let's go into the sculpting god power. And what you can do is you can just grab a section of this land and you can just pull that out. Some people use this ability to create things, beautiful valleys, and some people, mainly Americans, use this to create flat land that can fit in as many houses as they possibly can, and that's it. And that's completely and utterly up to you. Everything has a significance. For example, if I am pulling this land out here, we're changing, you can see the flow of this tide starts to change. Actually, what you're doing when you sculpt like that is you're changing the tide, and the wind direction is affected by the direction of the tides, which changes the wind pattern. It changes it in the entirety of the Jupiter-sized world.
When all the players come together on this massive planet, how do you anticipate the first encounters will be like?
I bet you, generally speaking, people will be nice. But there's always going to be a rotten apple that will mix things up. For me, being tempted by being evil and bad and violent and vicious is necessary to prove how good and kind and cooperative I can be. It becomes an interesting experiment, a sociological experiment, or whether this will replicate what the world is like, because the planet Earth is a truly amazing place. I mean, the fact that there are over 100 wars on the planet Earth at the moment is amazing. I mean, what's going on? We shouldn't have wars anymore. We should all just be getting on, but we don't. And that's incredible that we don't, even after 10,000 years of being civilized. Let's just go into multiplayer and just show you very quickly a multiplayer match. My people look like this. Your people in your land and followers may look like this.
Ah, a ginger.
A ginger redhead guy. Redhead people.
The JRPG character, all spiked up.
Yeah, they tend to be slightly better at breeding, where my blue people are slightly better at building. Okay, so I'm not actually going to play a multiplayer game because I'm not online at the moment, but this is a single-player battle. What we've tried to do is look at all the things we love about RTS games, and that is their simplicity and their purity. It's not an infinite number of units with an infinite number of upgrades. You're just taking your people from your home world and battling against my people from my home world. And I can move them around, so I'll just move them to the top of this slope. This is one of my enemies here. Oh my God, what's happened? Where are they all? Oh my God, they died.
How did they die?
I don't know. It's worrying me. It has thrown me a bit as to why they all died out. And let's just take these people down here and just leave them down there. My army of rebels, of primitives, is not strong enough to take out those people, so I'm going to use a couple of god powers to help them out. All god powers have a certain skill element to it. The meteor god power, it's the direction and velocity you throw a meteor down. So if I throw this meteor down here, I can throw another one. This one I'll just put straight down. I'll then just clean up using another god power, which is called the finger of God. Let's just go around and just, squish this person here. You can throw the person around, and I can just take these people out.
That's not really a battle, though, is it? If you're just squishing them.
Well, but remember, normally what we say is that each abode that is built has an area of influence around it. You can do anything in that, but nothing on the outside. Unless someone comes in your area of influence, then by all means, finger them to death. Right, I've got one person left. I apologise by the terminology, but how else do you describe it?
So there are a lot of people who are skeptical about Godus. I mean, after all, 22 cans is promising the world here. There's multiplayer, there's, taking your civilization through different eras, there's everyone existing on a planet the size of Jupiter. It's definitely a really ambitious game, but from what we saw today, they might just be able to pull it off.